I cook in my front yard. I know that sounds white trashy, but it's what I got to work with. And it ended up being the best thing I ever did because it is the social epicenter of my life, is me cooking in my front yard and all my neighbors coming over and hanging out in the fire pit while I'm cooking, and we'll watch football. And it's just, it's more accessible. If they see me cooking in the backyard, you're not going to just barge into someone's backyard. But if I'm cooking in my front yard, they're like, "What's up, Dave?" They come over.
Welcome to Malcom Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcom and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. And y'all, we got a familiar face back with us here today in studio. We've got our buddy Dave Williamson, a.k.a. Meet Dave. I'm sure y'all have seen him on the podcast before, but if you don't know Dave, he is a professional touring comedian. Been on Netflix. We saw you open up for Bert Kreischer in Memphis.
Yep.
You've been on the road. You've been keeping it busy. But besides the comedy stuff, which that's your main gig, now you've been into barbecue for a while. You got a barbecue podcast going, and you've been cooking a ton. You're a heck of a pit master. But now I got rumors that you got a bar and grill going, man.
Yeah, I didn't listen to anyone's advice, and I've gone into the barbecue space brick and mortar style. Right. And then it's so funny, a couple months in, like everyone who knows like says the same thing. They're just like, "How do you like the restaurant business?" And I'm like, "You were right. It's there's a lot of stress and a lot of sleepless nights, but it's so rewarding. It's so fun to have like a home for my barbecue, you know?" Because people for years have been like, "Where can we have your barbecue? When can you have?" And I'm just like, "Well, you got to come to this show. I do once a month. I do barbecue at this show, or you got to come to a competition, or you got to do at a catering event or whatever. Or every now and then I randomly sell it out of my front yard. Like, it's like, I never really had an answer for it. And it's kind of fun to be like, "Yo, come to the Old Town Patio, El Segundo, California. 7 days a week, you can get my barbecue on the menu." And I have an answer for people now,
That's awesome.
So
man.
it's
Congratulations,
rewarding.
dude.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like being on the road as a comedian has to be hard, but you're tied to a restaurant. I mean, are you seeing that you have to be there to get it to turn out the way you want it to go? Or?
Well, it definitely out the gate for sure. And still, I'm still there any day that I'm in town. But luckily, the only reason why I said yes to this is because of the guys that are involved. And it's a couple really cool, local dads who I've known because they have another bar down the street. Riley and Zach are the main guys, and they're there every day, and they really know this business. And because it was them, and because their vision seemed to match up with my vision, I was like, you know what? I'm on board. Let's do this. And essentially the bar has been there since the 80s. It's like a cool space. But it just, had kind of gotten a little rusty over the years, and there wasn't any TVs there, so you couldn't go and watch a game or anything. And these guys bought it, and they gave it a total facelift, and they wanted to have a little bit of a Western, Texas feel to it. And they're like, "We really want to have like a barbecue vibe to the menu." And they're like, everyone just keeps saying, "You should call Dave. You should call Dave." So they called me up, and we met about it, and I was excited. And I said, "Look, if you guys are willing to somehow, some way let me have a little bit of a partnership with you, then I'm willing to put in the work to figure it out, and let's do it." And so they were awesome. Huge kudos to those guys to make it easy for me to say yes. And we're off and running, and I had to learn. I've been in this barbecue world now for 8 or 9 years, and learning and hanging out with guys like you and figuring things out. But I've never had to figure out the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
I've never been in
a whole
the
different
restaurant
animal.
industry, So, making barbecue for 2,000 people, and it's got to be ready to be served at 5 p.m. is one thing. But then being like, "Yo, you got to cook for 2,000 people, but they're all going to eat at different times this week,"
And order different things.
Yeah.
So did y'all have a kitchen in place when you kind of came in, or did you have to totally start over?
This place has been there since the 80s. It's got an outdoor kitchen, and it's a Weber grill. That's all there was. It was a Weber grill like you would have at your house, and it was grandfathered into all the old school, and they were fine. They were just plugging along, making burgers there, and
very limited menu, I'm guessing.
Yes, it was literally a burger and a bag of chips and a tall beer for the best price you could get in LA for sure.
Yeah, my kind of place though.
Yeah. So we didn't want to lose that vibe, but we wanted to elevate it, obviously. So for me, the first thing was I go, look, you guys already make a good burger here. It's one of the few places you can come. And the guy was getting fresh ground beef and grilling a burger on a flame. And, and it was a good burger. But I was like, we could get a better bun. We could get some creative, toppings, and we could make it better. So that was really important to me to have a good burger, And then I was like, well, I want to have good wings because in LA, I'm from Florida, and where I grew up in Florida, every sports bar knocks it out of the park with wings. And that's one thing I've really missed in LA is the only wings you get in LA are breaded fried wings. So I was like, we got to figure out how to either grill or smoke some wings and have a good wing program, toss it in the sauce fresh, have some creative sauces. And then we had to figure out the barbecue element. And I'm like, how do I get barbecue pumped out and put it in on the menu where we can, have a real barbecue feel without really having a big pit house yet and not really being at that spot yet. So
yeah,
we're doing pulled pork, we're doing brisket, we're doing tri-tip, big California thing,
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting creative with it. I made some melts, so I have some really fun melts that I got the brisket on or the pork on. And my favorite menu item, believe it or not, is not just the straight up barbecue. It's the Ron Swanson burger.
What's on that?
So
bacon.
Yeah, basically.
What's the Ron Swanson burger?
So the Ron Swanson burger is a lot of people don't know this, but it's highly rumored, and I'm pretty sure true, that the show Parks and Rec is inspired by my neighborhood of El Segundo. Like there was a dude named Ron Swanson who worked for the Parks and Rec department for like 30 years or something. And it's totally how our Parks and Rec is, where every weekend they're just like, we should have a fair for like no reason whatsoever, So I think there were some TV writers who were living in my neighborhood, and they made the show, and then they set it in Indiana because it makes sense,
Yeah, middle America.
So I was like, we have to have a nod to Parks and Rec on the menu, and it's something that was important to me too, just being not somebody who's come from the restaurant industry, but someone who's come from the entertainment and the comedy world. I know what I can do is I might make some mistakes on the menu as far as it's going to take me a version or two to like hone in the recipes and what makes sense of the flow. I go, but I know I can tell a story, and I want to tell a story with this menu,
Yeah.
I want to have some creative stuff on there. So I'm like, we got to have something from Parks and Rec, and Ron Swanson's my favorite character. So it's our traditional burger with a slice of new school American cheese. And then we do 3 ounces of chopped brisket on top of that, some grilled onions, some beer barbecue sauce. And then we have, of course, an egg and some bacon, right? And then we go lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. And then it's got a little thing of our dipping sauce on the side that we put with all of our melts and our burgers.
How big is that burger?
It's pretty big.
It's like
and it prices out to over $20 when you add that much stuff to it. And so I was thinking like, this is going to be a novelty item that nobody orders ever because it's just something you get to, Instagram or whatever, but it'll be fun to have on the menu. It's one of our top sellers.
Really?
Yeah, everybody gets it, and you'd be surprised how many people finish it.
Yeah, for real.
People put it down, yeah.
The double Ron. What about the double Ron Swanson?
Yeah. I don't think anyone's ordered that yet, but I mean, if you're willing, we'll make it, dude.
I know what I'm about.
Yeah.
That's what Ron Swanson would say.
But what's kind of fun too is that it still has the old school dive bar feel. And I hired my buddy Uncle Chico as our kitchen manager, and he's one of my buddies from the barbecue world. A lot of guys know Uncle Chico and love him. He's like he's like the sweetest dude in barbecue. Everyone loves Uncle Chico, right? And so with him and I both coming from the barbecue world, like we love talking about our food. And it's one of the two of us are always there, and we're always out just mingling and chopping it up with the people there. So it's not a corporate feel. It's a real mom and pop feel kind of place, which you don't get everywhere in the city of LA,
Yeah.
So with that said, we will custom make stuff off menu all the time. People would be like, yo, this sounds good, but can I get an extra burger patty? And we're like, dude, we can make that for you,
We got you. Yeah.
Or if we run out of something, I'm like, hey, I'm out of this, but we have some pork chops, so we were just cooking for ourselves, and I can make you a melt with the pork. People are like, that sounds amazing. I want that, We were doing Cuban sandwiches this past week because we did an event and we had these buns, and so I'm like, we got all these buns left over, and Chico looks at me and goes, let's make a barbecue Cuban sandwich. And I go, I'm in. And so it's so fun. He and I start creating, and so we did pulled pork, tossed in mustard, and then we put a little extra of our Carolina Gold mustard on it, right? And then we did some ham, and then we got to go pickles and
you got to have the pickle and cheese.
Yeah. And then the buns. My favorite Cuban sandwich I've ever had is in this little shop in Tampa, and they have a particular sandwich they call the Obama because he ordered it when he came in there during his presidency, and they put honey on the Cuban sandwich. Yeah. On the bun, and then they put that on the grill, and then the honey kind of hardens.
Ooh.
So
on the outside,
like caramel outside,
yeah. So we did that on it too, and
it wasn't honey on that, dude. That would be epic,
insane. So that's what we did last week, and we didn't even have it as a special. It wasn't even in the register. It's just we put it on Instagram, and we had people coming in going, "Yo, can I get that barbecue Cuban sandwich?" Yeah. So I'm like, "Yeah, all right, let's do it." So we were just making them for people that were coming in, like a secret menu item.
So how have you been marketing so far? Is the word out, or is it just a local spot right now? Or
I mean, it's out, but it's all been organic. I've really done very little marketing because I've just been so busy, like figuring it out and getting us going. And but we're doing a comedy show there every other Tuesday. But you know me, I always love mixing my comedy and my barbecue together. Anytime I could get some of my worlds working together, I love it. So we've been doing our comedy shows there, and then a lot of the comics have been talking about it and posting about it, and that's been helping out. And just from word of mouth in my neighborhood, I mean, we're slammed. We can barely keep up with the business on the weekends, while the weather's nice right now, while we can. So, but I think that's the next phase. Next phase is I'm going to start doing a podcast out of the restaurant, out on the patio. It's a beautiful space. I think it'll be a really cool setting for a podcast. And obviously lean into social media stuff and next year you guys got to come out to the festival. We did a show at the festival. You guys got to see it and be a part of it.
All about the festival. Yeah. So now that you have the restaurant, the bar and restaurant, have you been cooking as much as home? Because I know that was a big thing for you. You would just cook out in the yard and have people over, and it was kind of like when they smelled you cooking, folks knew to come. Yeah. That was kind of like your neighborhood chill.
Well, it felt like serendipitous that this is the place I ended up at because, yes, I miss being, for people that don't know or haven't heard me talk about it, I cook in my front yard. I know that sounds white trashy, but it's what I got to work with. And,
we've done it before, yeah.
And the backyard's, where all my kids' stuff is. So the front yard became where all my barbecue stuff is. And it ended up being the best thing I ever did because it is the social epicenter of my life, is me cooking in my front yard and all my neighbors coming over and hanging out in the fire pit while I'm cooking, and we'll watch football. And it's just, it's more accessible. If they see me cooking in the backyard, you're not going to just barge into someone's backyard. But if I'm cooking in my front yard, they're like, "What's up, Dave?" They come over. So I do miss that, but the bar has just become the next level of that. First of all, it looks like my yard, like some by design and some by accident. Like the little overhangs that the guys built before I even came on board for the TVs look like the same little overhang I built at my house. And the whole just vibe, it just feels like my yard. Yeah. But it's an actual business this time.
So it's really just a cool place to hang out. That's what's going to draw people.
We have live music Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We got football on Sunday. We got the comedy shows on Tuesday. So it's really a cool place to just hang. Like people come, we had to add seating because like people were coming and spending 3 or 4 hours just like, shooting the shit and drinking beers. And I was like, dude, we need to turn over these tables. We don't want to kick people out. So we just squeezed like 40 more seats in. And now people can hang. We don't have to worry about it as much, But yeah, I do miss cooking in my yard, but the bar has become the new hang. It's the closest thing to Cheers, I would say, in my side of town that I've ever experienced.
Like a West Coast California small town Cheers.
Yeah, well, they literally call El Segundo Mayberry by the Bay or Mayberry by the beach because we feel like a little tiny, middle of the country town, but we're 5 minutes from LAX airport and we're a bike ride to the beach. But everybody knows everyone and, everyone's kids play soccer with each other. Like, it's got that small town vibe. So yeah, the same 9 dudes who've probably been hanging out there since the 80s still come in every day at 11 o'clock, sit down. We have these big mugs called Big Dogs. So they order a big dog of their domestic beer, and they sit there for hours and shoot the shit. And everyone's got like, their little neighborhood gossip or whatever's going on in the news they talk about. And those are the guys up front. And it's like when you first walk in, it's like a little tiny dive bar. But then if you walk past those guys, they're kind of like the gatekeepers, you come in and they're just like, hey, and you catch up with them. And then you go out the back, and the back opens up to this giant patio. It's why it's called Old Town Patio. We could fit over 100 people back there. And it's open air, and, the weather's perfect 11 and a half months out of the year out there. So it's just a big oasis that you can come back and hang out. And it's like two different vibes in one. You got the little inside dive bar, and then you got the big outdoor, outdoor space that you can hang out. And so it's a cool vibe, man. I'm really proud of it.
Have the neighbors been cool with it? Like the noise and everything? So,
well, since it's outdoors, we do have to really be careful with the entertainment permit and Like the comedy show starts at 7:00, so we could be done by 9, and we try to be good neighbors, and we try to turn the music down at the right time. And if somebody does, call, we do our best.
Has it been hard or a challenge to sell people on barbecue at a bar setting like that? Or do you think it's easier because it gives you freedom to not have to do like ribs and pulled pork, just plates? You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's been the perfect scenario because a lot of people were already familiar with my barbecue, so they're just happy to be like, oh, there's a place we can go have Dave's barbecue, And we're not doing traditional platters yet. I think if we made the jump straight to that from a place that we were working from scratch, it would be really hard because then you got to train them like you were talking about. People aren't used to things running out at 2 p.m. Mm-hmm. People aren't used to like waiting in line for 3 hours to get food, So this is more like we just infused my barbecue into a bar menu. And I think as time goes on, we'll do more traditional barbecue trays. Once I get to the point where if we get approved to have a big smoker, a Texas-style smoker, offset smoker, and a smokehouse and all that, then we'll probably have some of those growing pains you're talking. Yeah. But right now, it's like people are just like, oh, I could get, a really good brisket sandwich, and I just come here and order it. I don't have to wait for a Sunday that Dave's making it to have it. And,
yeah. I mean, I like the bar setting idea is a really good idea because you're not just a barbecue restaurant. Because if you just go to doing ribs and chicken and have, plates of barbecue, all of a sudden you're trying to be the next barbecue restaurant.
Yeah.
But the way you're doing it, it's just like kind of bar grill meets barbecue. Yeah. So you've got more creative freedom to explore whatever you want on that menu.
Yeah. And like we've done some like Sunday fun days, So it's like we'll market just that day is like meet Dave barbecue Sunday fun day, and I'll do like that. I'll do racks of ribs, or I'll do beef ribs that day, or I'll just pick like 1 or 2 menu items that we don't normally have that I just focus on that day.
That makes it more fun too. Really, you don't get bored.
Yeah, exactly. And the way my neighborhood works too is they just want an excuse to go do something. So people will just be like, man, what do we have on the docket, this weekend? And they're so used to the town throwing fairs and stuff that if there's not a fair going on, they're like, oh, we have to come up with our own stuff. And then I'll just post on Instagram like Sunday fun day, meet Dave ribs. And next thing you know, we're slammed. We did for the Masters, last April. I just kind of gotten things going in there. And I was like, guys, let's do a special this weekend. They're like, do you think we're ready for it? I was like, who cares? Let's go for it, right? And so we did pulled pork pimento cheese melts.
There you go.
Because, the Masters is known for their pimento cheese and everything. And I didn't know if like 2 people were going to show up or if 2,000 people were going to show up. And it was slammed. It was a party. I've never seen more people like cheering at the top of their lungs for golf in my life, and everyone had kids and everyone had picked a different golfer to root for. And I'm like, dude, this is what it's all about. This is the community I'm trying to build. And this is so much fun that it was just a regular Masters Sunday that I would have been sitting on my couch by myself. And instead I'm in here and it's a party with all my friends. Yeah. We're excited about the food and we're having beers, and it's cool, man. I'm excited for not just where we're at, but where we can go with this thing.
So do you still have the Weber grill?
Yeah, I wanted to know that too.
You can't get rid of the Weber, man. Yeah. It's got to become a fixture.
So you know what? We got new equipment, but the cook who's been there for like 30 years, Jacinto, right? Everyone knows him. He's been literally running that kitchen by himself for the past like 20 years or something like that, right? he took it home with him.
Well, yeah, he probably deserved
Don't
it.
get
Yeah.
rid of that grill.
It's at his house, and it's like probably his baby for the rest of his life,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I want to know about this pulled pork pimento cheese melt. I love pimento cheese.
Yeah. So, the funny thing is, I had never made pimento cheese myself. And so I was like, going to go buy a bunch of pimento cheese and then make the pulled pork and then do the melts, right? Well, I couldn't find pimento cheese anywhere in LA, especially that week. Like, I'm sure anywhere that did sell it. And so I go, all right, guess I'm making pimento. I'm sure you probably have a YouTube video about it somewhere. I probably watched your YouTube video. So I watched a few YouTube videos to see which pimento cheese recipe I wanted to use.
It's pretty easy.
It's super easy, yeah.
Super easy.
So I batched up a whole bunch of it, and I was like, yeah, I can't believe I was going to buy some. Like, this was so much fun to make, Yeah. So then, I just got the pulled pork, and I got the pimento cheese, and I threw them between a piece of bread and grilled them up, Easy peasy.
So have you trained some pit masters yet? Are the people that are working with you interested in the barbecue side, or they just...
So, what's kind of fun is, we have this, we kept a couple cooks that were the same guys that have been there. So they're here. They just had to learn the new, they'd been making the same food for years, and now I'm kind of like, all right, we're going to introduce this new menu and I've never trained a kitchen staff before. I mean, I'm a water polo coach. I know how to coach people, and I've been in the business world before. I've managed like people before, but I've never taught cooks how to cook a new menu. So, the main thing that I really wanted to get out to them was like, if we're going to spend 12 hours smoking a brisket, or if we're going to, really do it right by sourcing these tri-tips and going through the pain in the butt process of peeling them and everything and cooking them up seasoned perfectly, we don't want to then mess them up when we reheat them and just have them. You might as well just be serving meat out of a bag at that point, Yeah. So I'm like, look, we're actually cooking these meats and putting a lot of love into them. So when we assemble the sandwiches and when we reheat them, we want to make sure we're doing it right. So we're not just going to throw a tri-tip on the grill and overcook it, when it's already been sliced. We're going to steam it or do whatever we got to do to make sure that we keep the integrity of the meat when we're cooking to order,
Yeah.
So that was the hardest part. It was just making the barbecue stay authentic and keeping the integrity of it,
representation of what you want.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I brought Uncle Chico in, so he's a barbecue guy. He understands it, and he had every recipe that I did not, So he's like, oh, we're gonna make our guacamole by hand. We're gonna make our salsa by hand, and he's like, I got a great beans recipe, and so we're doing brisket chili. We're doing sweet beans. We're using Big Mo Caisson's mac and cheese.
What? Tell us.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Shell's a mac and cheese aficionado. You got to tell us about the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, so whenever I go on podcasts or I just talk to people in general, and I'm sure we had this conversation last time I was on, and people ask you like, what's your favorite barbecue place? And we just went and ate at a place right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the same conversations we were having where it's like, look, when you go to these top tier barbecue places, the meat's usually going to be great at all of them, right?
Mm.
You're not going to get bad meat, but a lot of them, like, they might have bad mac and cheese or bad sweet tea or bad ambiance, and I'm just like, put a little effort into making sure that it's all. So I was not happy with my mac and cheese recipe that I had in there, and I tried to source some from somewhere for the time being, and I was like, I'm not really proud to when I'm not making it myself, and
it's a process.
it was tough, and so during my festival, Big Mo Caisson came out. And we used the patio as one of the venues. And so he got to see the place, and all the guys got to see the place, which was cool. But at one of the events, because, we all cook. We have my festival is the Segundo Comedy and Barbecue Festival, right? So we do comedy shows all over town, and we cook barbecue for all of the shows. And so all these pit masters are doing their thing, all the comedians are doing their thing, and then everyone gets to meet each other and mingle and whatever.
So are these all going on simultaneously?
So this past year we did 6 shows in 4 nights. So it's 6 different venues, but 2 per night on Friday, Saturday. Okay. And then this past year we added a big barbecue day at the park on Sunday. The city let me take over the park, and we set up a bunch of rigs, and it was more of a traditional barbecue festival day that particular day. Mm-hmm. And then a big comedy show that night to end the weekend. So anyways, one of the shows, Big Mo made mac and cheese, and we were like, oh, all right, cool, man. That's so, Big Mo's a legend. And I'm like, the fact Big Mo's willing to cook mac and cheese, like everyone's willing to jump in and cook the meat, but the fact that Big Mo's like, yo, I'll take care of one of the sides. I'm like, dude, that's awesome, man. Thank you, Big Mo. And we got all this Wagyu beef from a Body Ranch and all these like beef ribs from Colorado Craft Beef and just all these amazing like food, And that night that Big Mo made the mac and cheese, it's all anyone could talk. Even the pit masters were like, this mac and cheese is insane, right? So I called him up and I go, Big Mo, I can't stop thinking about your mac and cheese. I go, can I try it out at the restaurant? And I go, can you send me the recipe? And he goes, I gave you one of my cookbooks, right? And I said, yeah. And he goes, it's in there. He goes, that's the recipe. And I go, oh, all right, cool. So you're not even giving away secrets. You already have this out there. And so I went and I grabbed it from the cookbook, and it's easy. Like, that's the thing. Like, all the recipes I had for mac and cheese take hours, especially in the smoker. And his is like 30 minutes. And so I go, oh, this is going to be perfect. So I modified his. Instead of the cheddar cheese, I used the new school shredded American cheese. And we make one or two little other modifications. And we throw it in, and it's done in 30 minutes, and it's been killer. I'm really proud of it.
Wow.
And we put him on the menu. We give him credit.
So
it says Big Mo Caisson's mac and cheese on the menu.
That's pretty cool. I'm looking up that mac and cheese.
I want a Ron Swanson, and I want a Mo Caisson.
Yeah.
That just sounds too good.
Yeah, you guys got
done like a brisket mac and cheese or a pork mac and cheese with it.
Oh, so yeah, so we do a loaded mac and cheese bowl.
Yeah.
So it by default it comes with the mac and cheese and then a scoop of the brisket chili and then Parmesan flakes.
Yeah.
And some green onion. But you could sub anything. You could get it with pulled pork instead or whatever. Yeah. And then we make a couple of barbecue sauces in house. And the two that I'm most proud of are collabs with some other local businesses, because that's the spirit of El Segundo big time. Is just like I said, it's real community based. Everyone. Mm-hmm. So I'm friends with the guys down at El Segundo Brew Co. It was one of the first 7 breweries even opened in Los Angeles area, and it's they also do the collab with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it's an awesome brewery, right? So we used their amber ale, which is called Fire Station Number 1. And so we made it our spicy barbecue sauce. So we use their amber ale in the barbecue sauce, and that's our spicy sauce. And then the coffee shop down the street, my buddy owns a place called Blue Butterfly Coffee Shop, and then he's got Smoky Hollow Roasters where they roast all the beans. And so we do a Smoky Hollow Roaster sweet barbecue sauce using some of his coffee.
Yeah.
And so we got those 2 local collabs. And it's just really cool to include the community on the menu. Like I said, I'm trying to tell a story with the menu.
Yeah, guys, yeah.
Right? That's right. Are you using your seasonings? Because I know you had bottled them.
Oh, Malcolm. We use my seasoning on everything.
Yeah. Go ahead and throw it out there. What seasoning is that?
Yeah, Meet Dave, all-purpose seasoning and rub. You can buy it on my website, DaveWilliamsonComedy.com.
I get on there and try some of that.
Yeah, it's I got two seasonings. I got because when I cook at home and I need a rub for like a brisket or something with more surface area, if you were to use just my seasoning, one, you're going to use like a whole box like every 2 briskets, a whole bottle of it. Plus it'll probably be a little spicy just because I have red pepper flakes in there and a lot of pepper and everything. So I dilute it. I use some kosher salt and some coarse pepper, about 70-80% that, and about 20% my rub to give it a little flavor and kick and color, right? And so I have a big jug of that ratio, and that's called the patio mix. And then I got just the jug of the Meet Dave seasoning, and everything on the menu is made with one of those 2 things.
It's all you need.
It's all I need. I need those 2 members. Every now and then, if I'm doing some pork belly, I'll grab some some killer hogs, or I'll grab some dark side of the grill, some of my buddies' stuff. But you know what I'm really excited about doing? And we're gonna have this I think made in the next couple of weeks. I was just talking to the partners about it. Is how like in certain neighborhoods people have like the little libraries in their front yard?
The take a book,
whatever. So I'm gonna put a bookcase up in the front of the store, and I'm gonna have all my buddies' rubs in there, and I'm gonna have little cups where you could borrow some seasoning, or you could leave a bottle and take a bottle. Because a lot of times people want to cook something and they want to try some seasoning, but they don't need a whole bottle. They're not going to go through it, and it's just going to go bad, especially where I live. There's so much moisture. Like, everyone's seasonings just clump up after a while.
That's right.
I love this idea. I have so much seasoning we can contribute.
I mean, right now it's just sitting in the storage room anyway, so it might as well be out there. People can use it themselves.
Let me send you, whenever you get ready to start that, let me send you some. I'd love to participate in that.
Yeah, I'm in. And then I'm also going to do, a little cookbook, because I have all of my friends' cookbooks. I have 20 different cookbooks, different barbecue cookbooks. So I'm going to do a little library on that too, where people can borrow it and use it for a little while and bring it back. And then I was thinking about tell me if this is a good idea or a bad idea. Am I opening myself up to liability here or what? I'm thinking about getting a little small, they have the little tailgater series from Recteq, that the legs fold up. I mean, it's the one that Bert and I took on the tour bus for years, I'm thinking about having one of those there that people can check out.
Like a loaner.
And take home.
I don't think that's a bad liability.
I don't either.
I would just sign something, hey, you're responsible for the operation of this thing. That's a great idea, man.
Right? Because
turning people on.
Trying to inspire people to get into barbecue. And then, I don't think we'll lose them as a customer. I think, if anything, they'll appreciate how good our food is if they go home and they start cooking themselves and trying it out,
I could definitely see you doing mini classes there, some instructional stuff, because people want to learn how you're cooking the recipes you're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe let some people come in, do a pop-up takeover and throw something on some more collab stuff.
100%. We've talked about that as well. And the open invite, by the way, too, guys.
I got to get to California.
We've talked about that, doing a pitmaster takeover day or something, or classes back there. Mm-hmm. And after we build it out and we have a proper, smoker area and everything, we'll definitely do that.
Because we're still early stage. Y'all have you been open a year yet?
Oh, yeah. No, these guys took over less than a year ago, and then I came in about April or so. This is very early. But yeah, we definitely want to do creative stuff. And, it's the perfect place to come out, enjoy the beach a little bit for a vacay, take the kids to Disney and stuff like that. And then, if people can make a few bucks or have some fun or make some content doing something at the patio at the same time, I want people to do it,
Love it. Get to see El Segundo.
I've always wanted to own my own bar and a community thing, a moose lodge or something.
That's been Shell's thing, man, to have your own place you can call your water knoll.
Yeah.
Bro, it's kind of like I don't even know, like a Make-A-Wish for dads or something. Where, I still pinch myself where it's these awesome other dads who know about the bar industry just go, hey, do you want to come in and just make a menu from scratch? And I go, there's nothing I'd rather do. I go, that sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I gotta go in sometimes after hours and start cooking and whatever. And so day one, we hadn't even signed anything yet. And they're like, yeah, here's the key to the front door. And I'm like, I can just come in and pour my own beers and cook. And they're like, yeah, man, it's your place. And I'm like,
that would be my problem.
Yeah.
That open access to the bar.
Yeah.
So that would be I've got to push back. I can't just go drink beer all day with my buddy.
Well, you get the first P&L and you stop taking so many free beers. All right. It starts mattering to you all of a sudden.
You don't think about that until you have to see that bottom line.
Yeah.
Oh man, look, now we got to worry about making money. It's not just all fun. You're in the early stages of the fun part, though.
Yeah.
That's what's really fun about it. Have y'all made any barbecue inspired drinks yet, or paired any beers with any of your menu items or anything? That's a really cool concept, I think, when you can start bringing in some local beers, like your local breweries that would pair with some of your dishes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did the barbecue sauce thing. So that's kind of, nothing too fancy yet as far as that goes. But I do that a lot just when I tour. A lot of the comedy clubs that I go to, they'll ask me to send out a bottle of my rub early. And then the bartender will come up with some concoctions, and then that'll be their special for the weekend. Yeah. So they'll do a spicy margarita with my rub on the rim, or a fireball shot with a Meet Dave, spike in it or something. We've done some of that, but not so much at the bar yet. But we will. We'll get there.
Are y'all full blown bar, or is it just beer right now? Or
beer and wine right now, but
it's coming.
Yeah. But stay tuned.
The How to Barbecue Right podcast is brought to you by our friends at Primo Grills. Shell, did you know that Primo is the only ceramic grill made right here in the good old USA?
What? Are you telling me that Primo Grills are proudly crafted here in the USA, ensuring top-notch quality and support for local craftsmanship?
I sure am. Plus, Primo Grill not only delivers mouth-watering flavor, But because of their innovative oval design and superior ceramic construction, Primo Grills also gives you a ton of cooking versatility.
Whether you're smoking low and slow or searing a steak to perfection, Primo Grills gives you the consistent heat distribution for mouth-watering results every time.
What she said, y'all. Y'all visit primogrill.com and check them out.
Talk about the place y'all just went to lunch.
Oh, so yeah.
I didn't go, but...
Well, I had been wanting to go to this place, and it's called Bain's BBQ in Memphis, and they've been open probably for about 2 years, right, Tyler? Something like that, I think.
Yep.
And Tyler actually went with his family and told me all about it, and I was like, man, we got to go. So I've had it, and I knew that you were coming in town this weekend, so I was like, man, when you get here, I was going to scoop you up, and we're going to take off and go get some lunch.
Yeah, I appreciate you waiting for me for that. It was great.
But dude, Bain's was hitting, wasn't it?
It was legit. I mean, it was definitely, I know y'all got your own style here, the Memphis places and everything, and the barbecue's amazing, but this was definitely Texas inspired.
100%.
It had the brisket on point, and I think we had pulled pork, we had turkey, we had a couple of the sides, we had chicken wings, and we had the ribs, and the brisket was amazing, but I think the ribs were the big winner. They were legit.
You would absolutely love these ribs.
Were they
Salt
dry?
and pepper Texas dry ribs.
Yeah.
Tender and juicy. And it's a restaurant, so they probably cooked them this morning and had them. They were perfect.
Yeah.
You couldn't, they weren't fall off the bone, but they were barely hanging on.
No,
and you didn't need a sauce.
Yeah, it was that they hit the sweet spot on the money as far as it being super soft, but, there was enough integrity that you got to take a bite.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's hard to find in a restaurant.
That and the turkey were like 100. They were excellent. Excellent.
Well, yeah. Now I appreciate it. Before I would have been a snob and been like, these ribs are too soft or this, that.
Yeah.
But now I appreciate how hard it is to keep something wrapped in foil in the warmer. And it's like, well, if you'd come in, 2 hours ago, these would have been perfect. But now they've been sitting and it's like really maintaining that quality and that consistency. It's harder said than done.
And we just popped in on them. We didn't announce we were coming or anything. We just walked in.
Is it a counter service?
Yeah,
like you order by the pound kind of deal?
Exactly. We did a pound of brisket, pound of pulled pork ribs, a full slab of ribs, and a pound of turkey. Order their smoker fried wings.
Yeah, wings.
The wings were hitting, man. They smoked wings and then they flash fried them. And however, I don't know if it's just because they come out of that hot grease and they coated them with the seasoning, but it made the perfect crust on the outside of them. It wasn't breaded; it was just a seasoned rub.
Yep.
And he did ask. He's like, "How hot do y'all like stuff?" Because I think he was fixing to burn us down on the wings. I was like, "We like it spicy, but we don't want to burn." And he's like, "I got you." And man, the level was fine. And they did what was the sauce they served those wings with?
It seemed like a house-made ranch, but it had a lot of dill in it. It was real heavy on the dill.
Fresh dill.
So, yeah. So it was really like chefed up.
And then they had for the sides, we did Texas Twinkies, which was like, the traditional stuff.
Yeah,
they
were good.
Bacon. With a thick bacon.
Yep, and mac and cheese and beans.
And beans, yeah. And the beans were beans. There was nothing wrong with them. They were good. The mac and cheese was pretty good. It was it was more of a runny style mac and cheese. It wasn't mac and cheese.
Yeah, it was creamy. It was super creamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had Lone Star beer. Lone Star beer for lunch in Memphis. I don't know how they got away with that.
Yeah, pretty good hazy IPA.
You had a beer. And so they had Big Red in the fountain, just like a Texas place. And I saw banana pudding, and I got to go back. We didn't try any dessert.
Oh, thank God I didn't.
It was on there. I didn't say anything. I saw it. I was like, oh, I ain't gonna say.
Look, I had to stop in Vegas on the way here. This is a whirlwind travel weekend for me, and I ended up. I'm never smart enough to be like, hey, you got a big weekend ahead of you, big guy. Just have a little fun, but make sure you get some sleep too, No, 5 a.m. I'm in White Castle with my buddy in Vegas, still wearing nice clothes from our event that night, but it's all unbuttoned and disheveled and shoveling burgers in my mouth. And then I roll in here and you guys are like, we're going to go to a barbecue place. And I'm like, I'm not going to take it easy, am I? And next thing I know, I'm drinking beers and eating barbecue with Malcom, and I'm just like, this is the beginning of the weekend still. We haven't even gotten into the fun parts yet with as far as the intake.
Yeah. Dave said, I got to get a gym session in somewhere. I said, all right, good luck, buddy. Good luck, buddy.
I'm sure the hotel's got something.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying to get a little healthier this year, and
you look good, man. You done lost some weight, dude. I can tell.
Man, from my heaviest, which was that last tour that I did with Bert probably to now. I think I lost about 50 pounds.
Wow. I didn't know you didn't have 50 to lose.
I didn't know I did. I thought like I started with this trainer. One of my comedy buddies was using this online trainer, and he was telling me about it. And I go, that sounds like it would be really beneficial for me, because the hardest part for me is traveling so much and my schedule being so unorthodox. I don't get a routine,
Mm-hmm.
So I Zoom with this guy once a week, and then he's like, what's your schedule this week? And I go, oh, all right, I'm going to be home these 3 days. I travel Thursday, and then I'm on the road the rest of the weekend. So he knows what equipment I have to work with at my house. So he builds my house workouts for me. He's like, Thursday's your rest day since you're traveling. He's like, and then he'll look up the hotel I'm going to stay at on the weekend, and he'll look online to see what they have in the gym, and he'll go, here's some gym workouts for you at the hotel. And so it just makes it so easy. His name's Dermot Duff, and he's got an app. And then I just open up the app, and it just tells me what workout to do that day.
Yeah.
And so it just, look, what happened was I went to that Key West festival last summer.
Oh,
and we
congratulations, though, because you're the defending champ of that now.
I'm the defending. Me and my teammates, man, team Meet Dave, we went down there and we took it against some very, very stiff competition. Super
that was
proud.
very stiff competition. Yeah.
But in addition to the barbecue and fishing tournament, they also had a belly flop contest. And when I looked at the videos back again, I was like, man, you know what? I'm starting to get tubby and fat and I wore a Speedo for it. I go, I'm not super proud of how I look in this footage. I go, but at the same time, I go, I'm not fat enough to win the belly flop contest. So I just kept coming in second place. So I was like, all right, I got to either beef up and win this thing or beef down and feel a little better about myself in my britches. So I decided to beef down.
Still travel with the Speedo?
Always. I always have an emergency Speedo in my bag just in case. But yeah,
you never know when you're going to catch a water polo match, right?
100%. That's because, that's the third thing on my list of passions. So anytime I can incorporate barbecue, comedy, and or water polo.
That's tough.
And a belly flop contest in a Speedo is pretty close.
I can see, that's what I was going to say. I could see the Speedo working with the comedy and working with the barbecue. That's going to get some laughs every
Well, the first year I lost the belly flop contest to one of the Macklemore boys. And then last year I lost to Chuck's Flavor Train. And I was like, yeah, these guys were built for this, bro.
Yeah.
They need to have like weight classes. I'm sure you would win in your weight class.
Yeah.
But so rumor is the Key West thing may be coming back, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they've officially announced that or not, but yeah, they hit me up the other day and said that they're shooting for March. So we'll see if we get to go back and defend our title. I'm super proud of how our team. I mean, look, barbecue is super subjective, obviously, and there's a lot of things that go into it. And I don't think for a split second that I deserve to be in the same conversation as half of those legendary pit masters that are cooking at that thing. They're all my heroes that I look up at. But I'll tell you one thing I do know that I am elite at, and that's building a team. And I'm so proud of my teammates, man. Jody from Recteq, hashtag barbecue dad Jody.
I know Jody.
And my boy Roy Bellamy from the Dan Lebitard show. He's a huge barbecue nut, and I invited him down the first year to be on our team, and he was just the perfect fit. Just the ultimate utility player who's just willing to do anything. And me, and we ran it with my son came the first year, and then my son couldn't come the second year, so we had that fourth spot, and we ended up. Jessica from the Lebitard team came, but she kind of had some other stuff going on, so she wasn't there the whole time. But we just kind of ran it back with the three of us, and we're like, look, we came real close last year. It's going to be even tougher this year because more guys came and bigger names,
and they want to win.
Yeah. And I was like, let's just run it back and see if we can. We were so close the first year. I'm like, I think we got a shot at this, guys. And then second year, it was funny because the first year we scored really well in certain things, right? But we somehow didn't win the overall. We didn't win in anything, but we were right there. We came in first place in 3 out of 4 categories of the blind taste test, but because of the way they weighted the, first place. I mean, that's insane, right?
Yeah.
So the way they weighted the People's Choice and the fishing and all that, though, it was just it didn't work out for us.
Those are all like the fishing is even a
so yeah. So there's points for fishing, there's points for lobstering, and then there's points for People's Choice, and then there's the blind taste test.
Okay.
And so they changed the way they weighted everything a little bit the second year. And then they also they added a fun like side contest, which was a cheeseburger in paradise, where we all cooked cheeseburgers on a sandbar
on the green eggs
Big
out
green
in
eggs
the water.
in the middle of the ocean, with the tide coming up to your shins or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they also just do the belly flop contest for fun too, And so anyways, the second year I was like, man, it's gonna be really hard to have the results we had last year, but let's go for it. And then we didn't come in first place in anything, but we came in like top 3, 4, 5 in almost everything, including the fishing this year. We really got skunked on the fishing the first year. So they're calling all the names, and I'm like, oh man, we didn't get anything, and but you don't know where you finished. You just know that you're not the winner. And so then at the end, they were like, grand champion. Oh man, I'm so glad to see this. He's like, I really felt like these guys deserve some recognition last year, and it just didn't work out, and just makes me feel good to be able to read this name off the list. Team Meet Dave. Yeah. And me and Jody and Roy looked at each other, and I started crying. I was like, I can't believe we just won. Just blew my mind. And
that's awesome.
Been there.
So now you got to defend. Yeah.
Oh, we got to go defend, man. Yeah.
Was it peanut butter ribs?
So we did the peanut butter jelly ribs again, second year. Yeah. I looked at Jody and I go, Jody, it's all different judges. I go, I mean, if it worked last year, it should work again. And I think for a competition setting, you don't want to do peanut butter jelly ribs at Memphis in May. I think they're looking for something very specific and very traditional.
Right.
But at something like that, that's a fun event for charity, and you're just trying to make an impression on some judges. I'm like, dude, they're eating 30 bites of the same rib over and over again. So I looked at, and this was our motto going into the first year too. I'm like, I'm not going to sit down at a counter and go up against Heath Riles, mano a mano with ribs. Like, he's going to kick my ass, there's no way I'm going to pump out ribs, but I'm like, but we can get creative and we can make an impact by doing some other stuff. Right. So we did our peanut butter and jelly rib recipe, that Jody and I, invented on some content creation we made a couple years ago. And then Jody's since perfected it. He's made them 1,000 times and he's got it locked in. Right.
Yeah.
And so we did the peanut butter jelly ribs, and then there's no rules about the boxes either. You gotta set your box up, but there's no it's not like at a big event where it's got to just have the greens and the, whatever. So we really got creative with that too. Like, it's Key West. So we went pirate theme with all the stuff. And my son,
you can put stuff in the box.
They didn't tell us we couldn't. So, and I saw other people doing it. So we said, well, let's just do it. And we'll do it better. So we did, for example, steak. Steak was one of the things, right? So we cut our steak bites, and I used salt to make a beach in the box, and I put a treasure chest on the beach with the green stuff behind it. And then we brought gold flakes, and we put gold flakes on we had doubloons. My son 3D printed us some doubloons.
Yeah.
So it was a doubloon with a piece of steak with gold flakes on the steak. And that was your bite of steak. And I think the steaks were absolutely delicious, but it also was dressed up a little bit, with the.
Was it filet or was it?
I think it was fillets.
Yeah.
If I drank a lot that weekend. So.
It's hard not to in Key West.
Yeah. Like a pirate, man.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was fillets.
You got to bring that version of that, the rib or even as a sandwich to the restaurant.
The peanut butter jelly?
Yeah. That would be a no-brainer, man.
Yeah. I'll have to do that with Jody, man. I'll have to let him come out and do a victory lap with that. Yeah. And do peanut butter and jelly. I've done it for some events, here and there, but catering and stuff. But yeah, doing it at the restaurant would be fun.
We saw that peanut butter and jelly wings get really popular. Like, we were hosting a local event here in town for several years, and the wing contest seemed like every year the top 3 would be peanut butter and jelly wings. It's like that flavor just was crazy, but it's really good. And it's not what you think. It's not like, oh, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No, it's so much more than that.
No, it's literally the perfect marriage, because it's why peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are undefeated. All right. Like, it's such a good flavor combo, and it works. It doesn't overpower the meat or anything. It's just, you get a little bit of that peanut nut, the nut flavor. Mm-hmm. And a little bit of that sweetness. It's almost like a little bit of an Asian taste.
That's where it goes to me.
Yeah.
It's like a play on a sweet and sour version of something with or a Thai flavor, because they do add the peanut sauce,
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And it works. It just flat works. I've had it on sweet potatoes. It makes like sweet potato fries with that peanut butter jelly sauce drizzled. Oh, it's so
well, I think he's working on it. Hopefully, I'm not letting a cat out
at the bag.
Or whatever. Jody, I've told him 1,000 times, like, buddy, you got to bottle that. You got to bottle that and put it out. Like Jody's, or peanut butter jelly ribs. I'll text him and make sure he doesn't mind me saying that on here. But he's got it. I know a lot of people do them on the wings and like it's out there, but nobody does it as good as Jody does, man. He has got it figured out.
That's awesome. Are you still cooking on the Recteqs? Like, have you been able to incorporate one into the restaurant or anything? Or
yeah, man, Recteq will always have a place in my life, and yeah, the restaurant's work in progress of what we're using, and hopefully we get to the point where we get approved to build it out into a real place. So
put a steak burner or something back there.
But the festival, Recteq sent me BFG, and we essentially ran the whole festival off this gigantic Recteq. Like it's insane to think that you can run a 5-day festival with like 10 pitmasters all just cooking. I mean, we had some big green eggs there too. We had some smaller smokers, but the workhorse was this. And I was going to get a big 1,000-gallon offset smoker from one of my buddies and set it up. There's a place called Woo Kitchen in El Segundo, which is an event space, but it's also a big green egg dealer and an outdoor kitchen place. So they have like their showroom. So we use their like showroom as our headquarters to cook for the week. And it was like summer camp for pitmasters. We were all just hanging out there all weekend and cooking. And I was going to bring in a big 1,000-gallon offset, but I got that BFG and I was like, I think we could just cook. If we like strategize and put things in at the right times, I think we can get it all done in this. And we did, man. That thing, we did not power it off for 4 days. It just kept rolling.
Did you stop and clean it?
I'm sure a little bit as we went, but when the festival was over and like I 3 days later, I caught my breath and I went back and I went to go clean it. It was, I mean, I was scooping a sludge out of it, man. I was just like, oh, this thing needed this. We were really pushing it.
You probably burned half a pallet of pellets in 4 days.
We did. Yeah. Shout out to Bear Mountain. They sent me a bunch of pellets.
Great pellets.
Yeah. Amazing. Man, I can't. I hope you guys can come out to the festival, man.
Do you have dates on that yet?
We're shooting for the last weekend in June.
Okay.
So it'll be really cool marketing wise because we do some classes and stuff too. So I think it'll be really cool marketing wise for like everyone to kind of gear up and get ready for 4th of July barbecues, So come out.
You gotta, as you lock in these dates for that, you got to let me know, and then I'll get the word out, and we'll try to plan to be there for that. Because I hate I didn't get to come last year.
Yeah,
our kid's been begging to go to California. He's
never
been.
Yeah. Well, yeah, do a Disney day.
And that's perfect.
I'm trying to think of some real cool stuff to do that would work within the schedule, but like, there's all these like cool things to do that are pretty easy as far as like, a trip down to Catalina. They even do wave runner trips. It's like an hour drive and you do a wave runner trip from Long Beach down to Catalina.
Yeah.
And there's like dolphins and whales and stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
Could you just see like 10 pitmasters?
Yeah.
Just saw that jet ski coming. You're going to burn some fuel today, guys.
Absolutely.
I just pulled up
the tour bus.
I
just pulled up this BFG. The hopper size is 53 pounds.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah,
it's a beast, man.
Yeah, that's a big pellet grill there.
Yeah, and it's got 3 shelves, and it's got 5 different levels of the shelves. So you got a lot of like choices as far as like if you're cooking pork butts or briskets, you could just load it up with using 2 shelves. But if you're doing pork belly or ribs, you can fit a lot in there.
Yeah.
You could slam a bunch.
A lot of wings in that thing.
A lot of wings, a lot of chicken thighs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, what's the barbecue scene like in California now? Is it growing? It's
definitely growing.
Really?
We got a couple restaurants around Southern California that are now making the national lists and are becoming well known. I would say there's a couple places now that are like destination locations, which is one of the cool things about barbecue.
Are they doing like a Texas style or a California style?
Yeah, like Heritage down way down south, and up into the city is Moosecraft and a couple places. Yeah, they got big offset smokers and stuff. And but I think where I'm at, like over near the beach, and then 5 minutes from LAX, and just like our place doesn't feel very corporate. It feels very like this is a mom and pop dive bar restaurant that, you know, has a really cool facelift to it and a cool atmosphere. It's just going to be perfect to hopefully end up one day being like a destination location where you'd go and get barbecue, hang out, you know?
No, I'm excited. I'm excited about that for you, man, because I think that's going to be really big. Now, are you going to taper back from some of the road doing comedy now that you have this restaurant you're going to be tied to? Or?
I mean, I have been, but not voluntarily. I just got so busy. I was like, I forgot to schedule gigs. So my plan is I'm going to be around the restaurant pretty heavy up until New Year's. And then hopefully I've already started putting some tour dates together for January, February, March, April. So I want to hit the road hard those days. And so I'll come back, I'll cook a few days and then go back out on the road, you know. And I really want to hit it hard and hopefully record an album sometime like May.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So we're going to see you on the road touring this year too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be out there.
I'll be looking for you, man. 'Cause we thoroughly enjoy your shows. They are awesome. Have you found a way to work in any barbecue with your stand-up routine? That's what
I want to lean into it a little more. I do have a few like concepts that I've, but it can't be too inside baseball because,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, tonight we're going to do a show here for, you know, that you put together for a bunch of barbecue people. So they would get it, but but the barbecue stuff is more about like who I am than more about like what my material is, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like people know me as the barbecue guy, and it's kind of like, tell me you're the dad who likes to stand around the grill and drink a beer and tell stories without telling me that, you know? Like when I first started out doing comedy and doing the road real heavy, it was like literally no one knew who you were and you had to establish who you were. So it was like you spent the first 2 minutes of your act being like, I'm a dad, you know? Like, but now it's like I don't have to say that. I just go like, let me tell you why I love barbecue. And from that one sentence, you're like, oh, this guy, I know this guy. This is the dad that everyone comes over his house for food and you know, like
you can relate. And I think that's half of it. You know, if you can get your audience to relate to you like that, man.
And nothing makes me happier that that's become my identity. Like, first of all, you were asking me about the podcast and like, hey, have you put out any podcast episodes? And I have to stop and think for a second because I have been on hiatus. I haven't put out a new episode in quite a while. It's just I've been busy, you know, but I feel like I still do the podcast every week because the podcast, like the name Meet Dave, has become more than just putting out podcast episodes. It's become my identity. It's become my like brand. It's become like who I am, you know, like even the kids I coach, they call me Coach Meat. Like, you know, like I'll be at a tournament somewhere and they'll be like, Meet Dave, what time do we play? You know? And I'm like, yeah, you got to get some context to people that don't know us of why you call your coach Meet Dave, like, you know?
Especially if you're in the Speedo.
Yeah. I don't coach in the Speedo, though. I just want to, in case anyone thought that's what was happening. It's not like baseball where you wear the uniform.
I've never been to a water.
Yeah,
I'm
not on the side with the Speedo going, let's go, pick it up out there, guys.
You're not in the pool.
I'll do it myself. And I jump in.
The player coach.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations to your son. You told me earlier that he's actually in college now, your oldest son.
Yep.
He's in Iona.
He's playing D1 water polo at Iona University in New York. He's been getting a lot of playing time as a freshman. Really proud of him, man. Just, you know, we looked at a lot of different schools and, you know, he's a really good player and a really good kid and a really good student. And it was just a long journey to kind of figure out the perfect place for him. And, you know, there's only like 30 programs tops that have like, you know, Division I water polo in the whole United States. So there's not a lot of spots out there. And, you know, you got tons of very talented kids who want to go play. And there's just only, you know, they're each bringing in like 2, 3, 4 recruits a year. So there's just not a lot of spots. And I'm just really proud of him that he found a good spot and that he's thriving. And then my youngest son's playing volleyball and he's doing really good with that. He's made some really good friends, getting good grades. And so both my boys are in a really good spot right now. And that just makes me,
I bet he's missing your barbecue.
Well, my youngest son's the one who, you know, my older son and I have always connected over sports, and my younger son and I have always connected over food. And so it's been fun. My younger son, he helps me with the food a lot. Like he's pretty good with it. And like when I was doing my monthly comedy show, I started that like 2 years ago. So he was in like 8th grade at the time. And it was the perfect thing where I was like, buddy, I'm going to do this monthly show where I cook barbecue and then we do a comedy show. And I think it'd be a good thing for us to do together. And so he was like a partner of mine in that, and we'd keep all the receipts and I'd show him like, look, this is your overhead. And then afterwards we total up the money and we subtract the overhead out. And then that's your gross profit versus your net profit. And we were able to learn all that, and then I split it, the earnings with him 50-50. And then he missed one show because he wanted to go see a movie with a friend and he just showed up at the end and helped me clean up basically. And I paid him $20. And he goes, that's all we made tonight was $20. And I said, that's all you made. I go,
Yeah.
You weren't a partner this time. You were an employee, and $20 an hour is pretty good. I go, so congratulations.
That's right.
And he was like, all right, cool. And then he showed up at everyone after that. Like, he was a partner.
Lesson. Yeah.
So it's kind of fun that he's he's not working at the restaurant, but he brings his buddies down, and he knows how to like all the secret all the secret ways to order stuff. And he'll always text me and be like, he doesn't care if I'm there. He'll text me and be like, is Chico working? And I'm like, Chico's working. Because he knows Chico will spoil him.
Yeah.
Chico's got some like secret sauces that like he could toss the wings and stuff.
Yeah.
Like garlic Parmesan's not on the menu, but there's a bottle of garlic Parmesan for Owen at the restaurant, So it's fun. It's fun that he's proud of it and that he's got we got some really cool merch. And so he's got a couple different patio t-shirts and he wears them to school like every day. He's got like a different patio shirt on and everything.
Are y'all doing social on the website for the patio?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's let me make sure I get it right. It's at ES Old Town Patio, I believe. Hold on.
You'll have to check it out, Shell.
Yeah. At ES Old Town Patio. And then while we're talking about it, you can follow me if you want. I'm at Dave W Comedy is my main Instagram. And then I'm trying to start building up, and I'm going to learn from you this weekend, trying to start building up maybe just more barbecue specific stuff. So I also started at Meet Dave BBQ.
Okay.
So I got that on Instagram as well.
Y'all check them out and follow Dave.
Yeah. You got a website too, or they can buy seasoning.
Yeah.
Dave Williamson Comedy.com. And I think just DaveWilliamson.com gets you there too. And what I was going to mention too is that there's 2 kids who used to play for me that I coached them a couple years ago, and they now work at the bar. Oh. So don't be a punk when you're at school and your coach tells you to do something. You never know who might be like, what, that kid was a really coachable kid. I'd love to have him as part of my team here. And I think those are the guys actually who I'll end up investing in at some point once we need to hire more pit masters. And those are the kids I'm going to be like, hey, would you be interested in going into this field and learning? And it's a little bit of a more exciting path than just saying, I want to learn how to just cook,
Restaurant tour. Yeah. Well, cool deal, man. Well, Dave, we're proud of you. We appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us, man. You're always welcome here in Mississippi with us, dude. So.
This was an easy yes, man. They told me you're doing a cool event, and I had it open on my calendar, and I'm like, I'm coming through, man. I'll be there on my way.
Is there anything else you want to shout out where you're going to be anytime soon, or anything that the folks might catch you?
Yeah, I got some tour dates that are just coming through now for the upcoming year. So, Tampa, Key West, I'm going to be there. I just booked that one. And I'm working on Boise and Nashville and Phoenix. I'll be in Phoenix in a couple months too. So those should all be up on my website in the next month or so as I build out this tour. And then just keep an eye out on Instagram, and please come see me if you're in LA, swing through, have lunch, and message me personally if you're going to be in LA and you want to come to the restaurant. Cause if I'm in town and I'm not already there that day, I'll drive down the street and have a beer with you for sure. It's already happened several times. Some barbecue buddies like had a layover. They had like a 3-hour layover, and they just hopped in a cab and came and had a beer and a sandwich. And, just guys who are coming through, or people I don't know have messaged me and been like, you're going to be there? And I'm like, I will now. I'm on the way.
Is it walking distance from your house?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. Man, good luck, and I hope everything goes well out there. We're coming to see you.
I appreciate you guys. You've both been supporters from day one. And the reason why I'm doing so many cool things now is because you guys and people like you that have been nice to me and welcomed me into this community and allowed me to learn and grow. And I owe the world to you. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Well, Tyler, you want to tell everybody where they can find us online?
If you're hanging out this weekend on Facebook, make sure you head on over to facebook.com/HQ community. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask them. There's awesome people hanging out over there that are super qualified to answer your questions. And I know I'll be there hanging out. So we'll see you over there.
Michelle?
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram and TikTok.
All right. We'll catch y'all next week. Appreciate you hanging out today. We gone.